Okay, the first one is talking about launch strategy. Okay, so this one actually comes from Aaron and Stella, who submitted this question onto our site. So regarding launch strategy, in a brief snapshot, can you explain your current setup and strategy for launching new products? Well, that certainly is a very big question. So thanks to Aaron and Stella for that one. So the big question on this, of course, is how do you kind of want to set this up to make sure that you're getting the first couple of weeks? You introduce a brand new product, it goes live. What campaigns do I set up? Now, there's a lot of different theories and strategies that are available as far as launch PPC on Amazon, and those change every 3 to 6 months, and so you kind of want to keep current each time that you launch a new product. Generally, the way that I handle this right now is I create an automatic campaign and a manual campaign, and generally I'm doing my own keyword research. I would say actually always I do my own keyword research, because what I want to do is I typically want to add in a couple hundred keywords that I find that are absolutely directly relevant to my product, cannot mean any other product. I don't want any confusion by Amazon as far as what it is that the audience that I'm trying to target. I want to make sure that the relevance between the product that I'm selling and the audience that I'm going after in the first couple of weeks is dead on with what my product is. All right. Do not use these campaigns for whether it's the manual or the automatic campaigns for keyword research. There's way too many keyword research tools and resources available now. Don't put that on Amazon. Do it yourself. But I do put in the automatic campaign as kind of a catch-all. I typically put it at a lower bid. Generally, I'll put that right at my break-even bid as far as what I estimate as far as break-even bid might be. Now, without any current sales, you don't really know what your break-even bid is. Yeah. So break-even bid, we typically would calculate as the whatever your net profit margin is for the product after you source and bring the product to market. You'd multiply that times your price, and then again multiply it times your active conversion rate. So if you happen to be getting some sales organically already, you might be able to check to see what your unit session percentage is as a conversion rate, overall conversion rate within your business report. But you may not have that data yet. So you pick an arbitrary number based off of either what Amazon suggests as far as a suggested range. For the automatic campaign, I would go on the low side of that. For the manual campaign, where you've curated your own list of keywords and you have filtered it down to a couple hundred keywords that you have manually looked at with your eyes and judged, this can only mean my product, right? It doesn't mean, it's not products that are similar. It can be competitive products who are selling the same product that you are, of course, but you don't want to simply just kind of broadcast out and try to get your ad out in front of people who might be impulse shopping, or it might be related to what they're shopping for. Try to really narrow it down as much as possible. Now, some of you, that you're only going to come up with 50 keywords. That's fine when you're first starting out. Might be a little bit slow because you're not giving Amazon a lot of ad inventory to run with here, but at least it gives you a starting point and you can continue to build on that week after week, right? The manual campaign, I would also generally set to a campaign bidding strategy of fixed bid the first couple of weeks. Amazon tends to suppress the default bid when it doesn't trust a new campaign, and a brand new manual campaign it does not trust because it doesn't have history. So generally I'll do a fixed bidding strategy on that. I will set the budget. Budget is kind of arbitrary. Set it for $20. See how it goes. For the number of keywords, of course, like I said, try to get up to 200, but make sure that it's very tight as far as relevance. Generally what I do is exact match and also supplement the phrase match so that I can actually get ad impression volume. You're going to get a lot more ad impressions through phrase match. So I tend to use both on that. And then I would set the default bid for those keywords, typically on the high end of the recommended bid range. Now you're going to see a lot of different bid ranges for the list of keywords that you put into that manual campaign. And some of those are going to be, 15 cents to 30 cents. Others are going to be $3 to $15. use your best judgment. Try to pick something in the middle that seems reasonable to you. If you can't figure that out, start with $1, start with $1.50, something like that. And then just make sure that you're optimizing after 3 days. Start putting into, like, say, the optimization process. Many of you have used my, over the years, it's kind of evolved, but I've had the 8-step, the 9-step, the 10-step search term and keyword optimization checklists. Those are readily available here, of course. Definitely use those at a minimum on a weekly basis after the first week. As far as the automatic campaign, set it a little bit below that, like maybe 75% of whatever you set your manual campaign to. So it's going to pick up some additional ads and run those. Those are both going to be sponsored product ads, which you should all have available and ready to go. If you want to step it up and be a little bit more aggressive on this, you can certainly add on sponsored product targeting ads against some of your direct competitors, or at least set it up. If you've got multiple products, you can cross-market your own. But that's more kind of intermediate step, not necessarily on a brand new product launch, but it depends on how aggressive you want to get and how big of a budget that you have to play with. You could also, of course, add on sponsored display product targeting ad. I wouldn't worry about doing audience targeting with sponsored display at this point, but I would certainly do product targeting ads. I would run sponsored brand product targeting ads and keyword ads, again, if you've got access to both of those because you're brand registered and you're wanting to be aggressive during that product launch. Generally, after the first couple of weeks, you'll get a better idea what the metrics are and where you can start tuning things in. You can start adjusting your campaign bidding strategy from fixed bid down to down only, or even up and down. You may want to test that after a couple of weeks to see, does Amazon trust your campaign enough to raise the bid for you, or is it still pushing the bid down because it still doesn't have trust of how your campaigns are going to perform? I do have a number of checklists. Of course, I've got my Leaf 17-step checklist that is freely available. Of course, I have my optimization guidelines that are freely available. So certainly check those out in the resources, certainly within the Amazon PPC Troubleshooting Facebook group. You would see those within the announcements section. There's like an FAQ and a list of resources. So those are great things to use that are working currently. I keep those up to date.